Hello friends, it's Armstrong here from Ada Miniatures, and today we are building another spaceship. Well, not really a spaceship, we're gonna be building a space station. And the base is gonna be this half a ball. Uh, this had like a dinosaur in it. So yeah, let's just clean up the thingy. And I should probably rough it up for the paint to stick to it better. I already sanded the bottom of it. And sorry, my dog just decided to have a meal, so yeah, she always have a good timing. But she's a good girl. Alright, so let's just rough it up very quickly. And I don't really need to rough it up massively, but just good enough. It's for the paint later on to stick better. Okay, so there we go. And probably it's now better visible as well. So, space station. So this is gonna be the top of that space station. And we're gonna have multiple platforms that we're gonna be able to dock the ships on. So it's not a small build, it's gonna be quite substantial. It's probably gonna be bigger than my carrier. Yeah, just looking at that, it's definitely bigger than the carrier. Yeah, so something. Yeah, but let's grab some paints. I quite literally have a full drawer of them. And now I'm thinking, how would I get those to be these ones to be at the equal distance? And I have those hexagons, yeah, so they can work as a base. One of them can work as a base from which I'm gonna start gluing stuff around it, but this one just doesn't feel straight. It's just me probably, but let's just choose another one. They all do not feel straight today. It's probably my brain. But yeah, and what I can do, I can just glue the... Oh, I didn't anticipate that. So what I'm thinking I can do, I can probably take two of them and glue them every other one and then stagger them. Okay, that's the idea. Let's try it. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it is only 4 o'clock in the afternoon and the next door pup is already started singing. Whew, it's gonna be interesting night. Interesting night, to say the least. All right, now let's put the first one and hope for the best. Expect it's gonna glue to the table for whatever reason. And I really don't mind how rough the pegs are for this, because this is gonna be on the bottom of the station. So again, I don't mind. It doesn't have to be 100% straight. 90% would be fine. I'm looking at the thickness of the connection point because that's gonna be important. Okay, that's thing here. So I was just thinking about building a medical station. Yeah, but yeah, it didn't really. Then I started thinking what I have at home, and I have this ball from the show-off show that I videotaped and didn't post yet. So yeah, but look at that. That's roughly the right distance for everything, which I'm happy about. Let's just grab a couple of extra of those hexagons. Oh. Yeah, and I can then stack two on top. Or maybe even one gonna be good enough to fit the other in between. Yep. All right. So this one's just gonna be a buffer. Yep, and we're gonna do another one. That looks good. So yeah, as you can see, I have my usual very tidy desk, nothing on it at all. Yeah, not a massive mess. All right. Oh, come on. I was sure we're not gonna stick together. Come on, come on. Oh, it doesn't like me. It really doesn't like me, this one. Yeah. It was just that one piece of wood that didn't like me. Oh, shook. It's gluing itself to the table. Please don't. I'll just add some in here. It just feels so flimsy. Yeah. Once I'm gonna start adding layers to it, it's gonna be probably much better. But at this point, it just feels like it's gonna break at any touch. Now let's just hope it's not gonna do what I'm expecting it to do, which is breaking. And sticking to my fingers. Okay. Okay, that wasn't tragic. I have the main platform ready. Now for this. That's a problem for me because I don't have anything at hand to fill up that gap, because I don't want it to be just hollow on the bottom. As well, figuring out exactly the center gonna be quite a nightmare. Oh, I didn't think this build through. I shouldn't jump into it. Yeah, now I have complaints about myself. But yeah, it's not a problem. I'm gonna figure this all out. Now let's just attach the landing platforms. So this actually is not gonna go to the center. It's just gonna be at the edge, about 1 centimeter or so. Yeah, and again, because this is just a scratch build from like wood pegs and stuff, I'm not expecting that I'm gonna do it very precisely. Although I could probably ignore the bottom as well. Yeah, I could leave it open. That actually doesn't make difference when we are playing a game from the top. Of course, one day I'm gonna have to buy a rulebook for the game and see if anything that I built make any sense. But yeah. Alright. And now that I think about that, I should probably add to the name of the series, I should add Billion Suns, because that's what I'm building this for. There we go. That's a big, weird looking snowflake. Yeah. And it's gonna be attached at 3 points. Let me just maybe flip it over. And that's gonna give me a little bit better idea, especially if it is attached only in 3 points. I can go and put the super glue into the place. And of course, when it's supposed to be catching and gluing stuff together, it doesn't. When it doesn't supposed to, it does, which is a beautiful duality of super glue. That's why we like it so much. It just, The duality of it is beautiful. All right. So we have our base of operation and we have our landing platforms. And now we need to make it look better than it looks right now. So what I'm thinking, hexagonal shapes on the dome. Yeah. Not like entire dome covered, but couple of sections. Let's try it. It doesn't hurt me, I guess. It may look cool at the end of the day. Yeah, like if we think about the scale, that would be, like almost a city sectors. I just remember now that I look at this, I just remember the Stargate Atlantis and the Atlantis city. Oh my goodness, I love that build. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And the pity is that, technically the crew never really explored the entire thing. Which is kind of sad because I would love to see, the exploration, more of the exploration of the city itself in the series. Yeah. But that's just me. But I heard that we are getting a new Stargate series, which I'm not like, eagerly awaiting or something, but I would love to see some more of Stargate, especially when it was more of a comedy show than the sci-fi show, in my opinion. Yeah, like the other like the spin-offs, the Atlantis, the what was that, Odyssey, I think, about the spaceship. They all have a little bit different feel to them. Yeah. But I just wonder, if they can actually reboot it successfully after so many years. So it's just me. I wish for the best, but I'm looking at the Star Trek reboots. Yeah, and some of them are very successful. Some of them are just, I wouldn't say reboots. Star Trek series that they add, in the, like the Picard kind of feels like they are bashing Picard over the head with the new age agenda, and kind of hurt because Picard was one of my favorite captains. Yeah, the Star Trek, the one with the girl as a main character with the ship jumping. I don't remember exactly the name, but I watched like first 2 seasons just to see how it is. And if I just ignore the political agenda in it, it's not a bad series. Yeah, could be better, but it's just preaching that I don't really need in my TV series, and that's very unpopular. Yeah. But if you want to watch absolutely the worst of the worst TV series ever, Wings Saga would be what you are looking for. The protagonist is so unlikable that the mean girl is actually more likable than the protagonist. Yeah, the protagonist's first words to her love interest is, "So you're gonna mansplain that to me." Which is just, the cherry on the top of everything. Okay, 3 different panels, and my rant about Star Trek stuff. That's what we needed on Sunday. Sorry about that. It's just, one of those days. I have weird thoughts in my head. Like, now, do I? Like, I just got one of the big rollers from the Green Stuff World. Technically, I got it from the Wayland Games, but, I'm just thinking that I can add some flair to this, by adding, like, stuff like that. I only have 3 of them ready, but I can just, you know, glue one in here, then one somewhere else. It's yeah, that's the idea. We're gonna do some crazy stuff. Again, this is not strictly pack-free anymore at this stage because we have piece of plastic and we have piece of putty in here, yeah, but just out of like with this putty, you know, it is probably already old enough, so it's not gonna bend well, it's just gonna crack. Yeah, this is a milliput. Milliput is great for your like porcelain dolls and stuff like that to fix. Yeah, it is a brilliant putty for scoping, but it is very chalky and not exactly very flexible. So once it is fully dry, there is zero flexibility. It would just crack and break. Yeah, if you are looking for something more bendy, green stuff gonna be your putty of choice. Okay, this is. I wanted to do this kind of randomly and it turned out that I didn't. So yeah, let's just do it, you know, as a kind of symmetrical. Oh, come on. Those super glues. All right. I don't think that that's gonna give any extra structural integrity to it, but we have something, yeah? Now, for a base, how do I gonna base that? Because if I just put it on one little stick, it's gonna be wibbly wobbly. I didn't think about that challenge when I started this build. What I'm gonna do at first, I'm just gonna put three of those dolls in here. Dolls, not dolls. In here, full length in, with a small amount of super glue, like just tiniest amount, like I always do. Just, you know, not too much. And then I'm gonna have to figure this all out. And you know when I'm saying just the tiniest amount of super glue, when I'm gonna soak it in super glue, yeah? I hope that all of you understand my slight sarcasm. Because at this stage I don't know how to keep it standing. But maybe, you know, just those 3 pins are... That's the darnest best ever resolution to a problem that I ever had. Yeah, it's simple and surprisingly it works. I just gotta lift this so you can see the mess on my desk. Yeah, but you have the entire base. Yeah, and those 3 pins just work. Like stupid ideas that work. Awesome, I love it, and we're gonna leave it like that. Now we need to still decorate this little lovely thing. So what I have a couple of those kebab skewers, yeah, which we're gonna probably use. So my memory ran out, and yeah, I got the break because of that in the video making. Because you cannot make videos if you cannot record them. Now, let's get to continuing building this, yeah? So we have the base. Now I want to add some details onto the platforms, onto the entire thing. So I got those toothpicks some time ago. Oh, they cannot open, but, or they probably can, but they are glued or something, I don't mind. They have this a little kind of a grooves, yeah? So what I'm thinking, I can attach them just under the platform to give like a guiding rod or something feel. It's not 100% that I think it is needed, but I think it is needed. So let's go with it. We're gonna start doing that. Yeah, so just like, and maybe two on each of the platforms, roughly align with the wood pegs there. So it's gonna be a lot of shaking for me. So we need, so we have 4, 5, 7, 10, and we need what, 11, I guess. So let's just start mass production of that. And of course, you know, the second cut, and I drop one on the floor. Yeah, you may have a pleasure of looking at my precious bald head. Yeah, I cut off my hair. All right. Come on. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab all of those toothpicks into my hand, and it just doesn't really work. Okay, let's just do it few at the time. It's gonna be faster, and I don't gonna be losing my mind. So roughly this much. So we have those ready, and now we need to do this. That's the thing about toothpicks. They are tiny and hard to grab with your giant sausage fingers. So yeah. Alright, and now I can continue with applying them to the platform. So bear with me and don't roar at me. That was a bear joke if nobody cut it. And it was probably a bad one, but still a bear joke. And I think that I just glue myself to the toothpick. Yes, I did. Come on, come on. Stay in that pool of super glue. All right. So I know that some of you are watching this in particular, you know, so tell me what other ideas do you have for me to build? Yeah, because I have plenty of spaceships, and I have plenty of videos that I recorded a couple of months ago that never see the light of day because, yeah, of what happened in that period of time. Well, I would probably post the ones I have them edited. My editing is not really editing, it's just splicing everything together. Come on. Sorry. Winter time. Okay. And now platform number 6. Yeah. And obviously, you know, nothing of that gonna be perfectly aligned because, yeah, it's me. But we have, you know, extra little details. In the same line of thinking, we can use those, yeah, in here. So I was thinking I can just cut them, yeah, to size, give them a little bit of super glue. And again, this is decorating of the bottom, which is Probably not the most ingenious thing to do, but yeah, it's giving this entire platform, well, the space station, yeah, its own charm. No. So I'm just thinking as well, maybe adding more of a hanging stuff from the bottom, like that city from the Star Wars. Yeah, that floating city. And probably some add-ons on the top as well. Oh, come on. Maybe it's better if I just put it here. With my lovely hand-eye coordination, I usually just put my finger into super glue, so yeah. So I don't know what it is, like, but they give a little bit of a different look to the bottom of it. Now, just a little bit of decorations, on the top. So those pieces of the toothpicks that I cut out can be used up somewhere, somehow. Yeah. Maybe those ones we can use as well. The thing is that if I just gonna attach it to the, what do you call it, to the dome, it's not gonna be extremely sturdy. So that's why I'm looking at those hexagons to just add a little bit of sturdiness. Because otherwise we have only one point of contact, wood on plastic, which again is not the strongest connection ever. Yeah, and now let's, that was stupid because now I have to fill this up. No, I'm gonna leave it. I think this is it. Yeah, this is the build, and it's very TP. So I'm gonna add the base, even though I didn't plan at it at the beginning. But if I lower it, yeah, because all of my spaceships are not so tall, if I just lower it to roughly this height, yeah, then it should be much more secure. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's the idea. Again, just a tiny bit of super glue and attach it to the base. This is the weakest attachment that I ever made for the spaceships. Yeah, but hopefully it's gonna work. Just give me a minute, I'm gonna be back with the painted station. So now we have this entire thing almost done. There is only a couple of final touches, like adding the blue to the solar panels. And as you can see, I spray painted from the bottom black and then from the top orange. So it's gonna be very distinctive on the table. Yeah, and just Beowulf blue, and I'm going over each of the panels. I'm gonna be honest, this video took much longer than I was expecting because the scope of the build itself is kind of biggish. But it was fun to record. Hopefully that's gonna be enough paint for now. Oh. There we go. There is actually a serial number that I didn't scratch off and stayed, but oh, this seems to be still wet, this as well. Wow, that's bad, but let's just give it then a minute and switch to a chrome pen. So I have this chrome pen for a while now, and I rarely ever use it, so I decided futuristic stuff, why not add chrome stuff to it? So those spikes gonna get chromed, at least to the point that I can do it, because yeah. Come on. It's not gonna be perfect, so it's gonna be a little bit rusty chrome, but still, you know, just messing with this around. That would be rust from the chipping that occurred because of meteorite impact or stuff like that. The only problem painting with the markers is, you know, some of the surfaces really don't want to accept that, especially round surfaces. Because this tip of the marker is very stiff, it isn't as soft as the paint markers from the Army Painter, so yeah. But you know, with that chrome I can really just make weathering on this. Yeah, I think that most of that is dried up, so let's just try to finish this entire build off without messing anymore. Yeah, what I'm thinking and what is the truth are two different things. That's okay. Sorry, just focusing to don't mess it up all too much. And like, if you are building something along this line, you can then wash it if you want to make it more dirty and up, yeah. But I don't really think that it's 100% necessary. There's just, in my way of thinking about all of this stuff, yeah, of course there is dust in space, yeah, but do the space stations really get that dirty? So that's just me, yeah. People may have completely different opinion, and you know, probably someone who works for a you know, right organization would know the facts, but just my way of thinking about that. And maybe just, you know, do the blue on top of those pipes as well. It's more of an edge highlighting than anything else. And now it was more of a slip up than anything else. So yeah, that's our space station done. Yeah, if we look and we put the transport ship, our, what do you call it, a carrier, it's giant comparing to it. Yeah, then the smaller ship, the smuggling ships, they are, they can fit in here. And if we are looking at anything smaller, like some of those ships that I designed and didn't actually show any videos about, they can fit on those platforms. So yeah, we have some sort of a docking station. We have to remember, it doesn't actually have to, if we are looking at the technical side of this, it doesn't have to support the ships because it's in space. There is no gravity. So they just have to dock, magnetize themselves into the surface, and people walking through the corridor inside of the substructure. Yeah. So yeah, this is my space station build. Hope you enjoy it. If you like it, you know what to do. Rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, and whoever else want to watch it. And everyone have a great day and take care. Bye bye.